would have liked so far, but are you happy with the chances? You look like you're generating chances and such, that's a big part of it, at least.
Yeah, no, I feel good about my game. Obviously, would like a little more production. I think that early in my career, when I wasn't producing, I probably wasn't making an impact, and I've tried to evolve my game to a point where I can have an impact on the game regardless of if I'm producing or not. But obviously, that's if you want to be a good two-way player, offense is part of that. I'm going to keep trying to get to the net, keep trying to create chances, and I think they're going to start going in, and hopefully when they do, they go in bunches.
I was wondering, did you talk to somebody like Bobby Ryan? I mean, he's kind of going through the same thing. You guys have both been in the league for a bit, long enough to know that this is part of a season. You and he kind of chat about this or no?
Sure. Yeah. No, we discuss it. I think what you learn as you go along is, regardless if pucks are going in or not, you have to make sure that your game is consistent, and that you're bringing other things to the table. I think when you look at production in this league, a lot of the times you say a guy's a streaky scorer or whatever, but that's kind of the way it goes. And as long as you're doing your best to get to the net, create chances, help your line mates produce, I think eventually over the course of the season, those pucks start to go in. And like I said, I mean, I do feel good about my game. I do feel like I'm creating a lot. I've been solid defensively, and the confidence is there, and just got to keep getting to the net and bury a couple here.
I remember talking to you when you came here last year, that part of what you take a lot of pride in is, setting good examples for younger players and being a good veteran and such. Is that challenged by the pandemic, just in terms of how much you can chat maybe off the ice with guys, or how has that changed in any way for you?
Well, I think you can still go about your business and be a good example. I think that's been the way that I've tried to lead over the course of my career. Just through setting a good example and trying to be an example to follow. So I think you can continue to do that regardless of what's going on. And then in the room, I think there's still opportunities to have discussions amongst our group and make sure everyone's on the same page. I think, obviously the results aren't what we want them to be. Special teams are a part of that, and we need to make sure that we're doing a lot better in those areas. But, I think 5-on-5, I like where our game's at. I think we're playing hard and trying to create an identity in here. And we just got to continue to do that every night. Consistency is really important.
Last thing for me, just what was your experience with COVID like, and does it help to have a spouse who's a doctor? I don't know, is she here? Is your family here with you in Detroit, or?
Yeah. I mean, that was helpful. I couldn't see them, obviously, when I was in my quarantine. I did have some symptoms that kind of knocked me out for a few days. But once I got the kind of go ahead to start, getting going physically, tried to push it as much as I can. I feel like the first few games there were some ill effects, but I feel good now. No problems going forward. So I think just gotta keep playing and keep trying to contribute.
Thank you.
Next up, Ted Colton, Detroit News.
Hey, Sam, I was kind of interested in the reports, late last week or whatnot, you and Connor maybe purchasing them. Was it the Marlboros or the Marlies? I'm sorry, I always get that.
Yeah, Marlboros.
What, I'd imagine it'd be one way of kind of giving back to the program and whatnot. What was behind all that in your line of thinking?
It's John Tavares and I. We played.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. We played on the Marlboros together growing up. And we got approached about an opportunity to be part of the board and be and operate the Marlboros going forward. And I consider it tremendous honor to be asked. I think my minor hockey experience was incredible. I'm still friends with a lot of the guys from my team, and I think I want to help create that experience for the next generation of players. I think you hear stories on both sides of it on the minor hockey experience, and I think we can create ways to allow everyone to have that experience, and create advantages for those kids, and and help different kids in different ways. So I think we're excited about that opportunity, and looking forward to helping out there.
You know what, Sam? I had a son go through the youth rank. A lot of buddies got obviously the same way. And I'm sure a lot of the issues are here, in Toronto, at Edmonton, and LA, everywhere. A lot of the bad issues. What would you like to do to clean that up, or just bring the fun back for the kids, basically, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is creating opportunity for some kids that wouldn't otherwise have it. I think that's an important one that we're going to try and focus on. And then I think just throughout our organization, we want to establish a culture that from top to bottom, we're trying to develop good hockey players, but good people, and we want them to enjoy the game. I think winning is important at the pro level, and I think more and more it's becoming the be all end all at the minor hockey level. And I think it's important to establish a winning culture, but at the same time, we're there to help develop people and have them enjoy the game and enjoy their experience, and I think that's going to be the main thing for us. I think once you get to this level, you realize, how hard it is, and how much of a business it is every day. And, I don't want, any kids in our organization or any parents to feel that, that it's big business at that level, because at times it does feel that way. And, I want it to be a situation where, the kids are empowered to come in and learn to be great people and great hockey players. And I feel like there's a lot of ways we can do that. And we're still kicking ideas around and looking forward to the future.
And is that the big one, Sam? Just the fact that it seems like not just hockey, but in a lot of youth sports, it's just like that win at all cost mentality. It's really taken. I mean, I can imagine maybe in your league, that might be one of the big things, I would assume.
For sure. Well, I mean, I can speak to my experience. James Naylor, who, was our minor hockey coach, set a culture of, we just had a great group and had a ton of fun. And it was all about skill development and, working on our game. And it wasn't, the winning was a byproduct of our development as players. And you look, I mean, we had 5 guys play in the NHL. We had other guys play pro in other leagues, and that's kind of unheard of at the minor hockey level. And, I don't want a situation where, we have parents that are, signing up just because they think we can get their kid to play in the NHL. I mean, I think our mindset has to be to try and develop great people. I think not every kid's going to make it to the NHL, but you want the experience that they've had in minor hockey to help develop them into, people that give back to their community and, make an impact. And I think that has to be our mindset. I mean, that was the mindset of our coaching staff growing up. And, as directors of the board, I think if we can help establish that culture throughout the entire organization, then we'll have done our job. I mean, Jim Nicoletti and Lynn Dennis have done a fantastic job of that with the Marlboros for the last 30 years. And, it's going to be a tough act to follow, but we're excited for the opportunity.
Ready to play commissioner in that league or something? I mean,
Yeah, I guess so.
Experience.
Yeah, no, it'll be a great experience. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for us, and like I said, I'm really looking forward to the challenge of it.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no worries.
Last question from Max Boltman with The Athletic.
Hey, Sam, I want to ask you earlier, you mentioned about early in your career, when you weren't scoring, maybe you didn't feel like you were impacting the game a whole lot. To see a 21-year-old like Philip Zadina, he's hasn't even had a full season in the league yet. How do you feel like his game is rounding out? I mean, it seems like the forechecking and the way that he's back checked have kind of taken a step forward. I know you didn't play with him last year, but.
Yeah. No, I think he looks really good. I mean, he competes off the puck. I think that's a real important thing for him. I think, you see his skills when he has it, and his ability to shoot the puck and make plays. So, when he's able to hunt down the puck and have it more in a game, that certainly helps him. I've been through, obviously, that, going through the league at that age, and, I understand the ups and downs of it. I think sometimes you can feel that if, the puck's not going in for you, you get dejected and feel like you're not making an impact. But, there's a lot of different ways to make an impact in this league. And, I think if you look around the league, I mean, the top guys produce. And then beyond that, you go through streaks throughout the season where you produce, and some streaks where you don't. But your game has to remain consistent. And, I like what I've seen from Z. I think, he's played hard. He competes, and I think if we can continue to set a culture of accountability here, and guys, competing no matter what the situation is, or how the game is going, I think it's going to go a long way to helping this team be a good team.
And I don't know how well you've really gotten to know him, because obviously the social element has been limited a little bit this year, but
yeah,
you've been through the pressure of being a high pick in a franchise and coming in and a lot being expected of you early. How do you feel like he handles that stuff?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you said, I mean, it's been hard to get a chance to know everybody in such a weird year. We have everything kind of spread out in the dressing room, and then, on the road, not able to hang out really. But, I think you just see how he handles things in games. And, I think he's done a pretty good job of it. Obviously, like you said, being a high pick and, feeling that pressure to produce, but also to help the team win. It's a hard thing. I mean, I've been through it where, I was the first round pick, and, 4 or 5 years into my career, I'm looking to take that next step individually, but also help the team grow. And, it hadn't really happened at that point for our team. So that's a hard thing, but he continues to compete. I think that's the main thing. I think you can see sometimes guys get dejected, and, it affects their work ethic and their level of compete. And that hasn't happened. And, he continues to compete and look for ways to help our team win. And, that's been a really good sign.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, everyone. We'll be back shortly with Coach Flashel.